Aww.
So, you want to make a death domain cleric, but the internet or your friends tell you that death domain is evil. Well, they're right. Go make a prissy teacup life cleric and get out of my face. Still here? Good. Decided you don't care what the internet or your non-existent friends say? Great. Sure, rules as written in the raw specifically says that death domain is for evil characters. Fine. However, 5e has been wonderful in that it largely got rid of a lot of class restrictions for most classes. What? You still don't understand? What the? Fine. Watch the rest of this video. So what do you think of when you think of a death cleric? Probably death, evil, necromancy, blah, blah, blah. Right? Wrong. Do you know why you're wrong? Probably because your mother didn't hug you enough as a child. But if we're talking about death domain clerics, it's because you haven't heard of Kelemvor. Kelemvor, you ask? Yeah, Kelemvor, otherwise known as the greatest thing to ever happen in the afterlife in D&D. Kelemvor, who unlike his two predecessor gods of death, is actually not a complete goblin. This guy was a champion of man before ascending to godhood, and carried his compassion for people into his next role as a lawful neutral. Did you catch that? Lawful neutral god of death. He focuses on the balance between life and death and sees undead as unholy abominations to be smited. Did you hear any of that? If that isn't sounding like a good case for a not-so-evil cleric, then you really just aren't even paying attention. Why are you even watching this? Now, my personal death cleric... What? Yes, I said my personal one. No, I'm not at all biased on this subject. My personal death cleric was a soldier who got captured during a battle, tortured for months by the enemy army, right to the brink of death, and then brought back to life each time. After months of this, finally let him die, except he didn't die. Kelemvor decided that the man's teetering just at the precipice of death for so long while never actually be given death's release gave him a unique perspective on death. So what did he do? He brought him back to life again, denying the soldier that sweet closure of death he'd been hoping for. And he also brought him back to life after he'd already been buried. You know what? I actually take it back. Kelemvor is a complete goblin. Anyway, tortured soldier was imbued with the powers of death in Kelemvor's name and gets directed through his dreams, as provided by my DM, of Kelemvor's will. Does this make my cleric an evil person? No. If a paladin of Tyr beats a lich to death with an undead arm he found lying on the ground, is he an evil paladin now? No. The same goes for my cleric's death magic. It's a tool, and you can bet your sweet buttocks that he's going to use it. Just, you know, don't go around raising armies of the dead. That'd be really stupid. What, you're still here? Go ask your DM if you can make a death cleric already. Leave me alone.